There is no such thing as waste, only wasted resources. Sustainability. If there's an elephant in this room, that elephant would be made of plastic. A lot of plastic. Globally, about 400 million tons of plastic waste is generated and discarded every year. Less than 10% has been recycled. So that leaves us with about 7 billion tons of unrecycled plastic trash. And unfortunately, the things that make plastic so useful, being lightweight and durable, also make plastic trash really good at traveling, at hitching a ride on wind and water, especially on water. Plastic trash is phenomenally good at drifting down streams, rivers, and storm drains, hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles, and then out to sea. And from there, welcome to the GPGP, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a floating island of plastic debris that's about twice the size of the state of Texas. And it grows daily as more plastic trash flows out into the ocean. The World Economic Forum predicts that by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. It's such a vast problem that it's hard sometimes to imagine that any of us can make any meaningful difference. But we can, and we are. With your help, we're challenging the idea of where products can and should be made, across the world or across the street. One of the biggest surprises has been that plastic recycled from just a handful of regions around the world can have the greatest positive impact. These are areas the United Nations has identified as hotspots, the biggest threats and opportunities to divert plastic debris before it flows out into the ocean. Trendspot, Mexico is located near one of the planet's biggest ocean plastic hotspots, northern coastal Mexico. And this is where we get all of our post-consumer plastic. Why does this region of Mexico matter so much? Let's take a look at two scenarios. First, recycled plastic originating in China. Then, recycled plastic originating from northern Mexico. Plastic waste from China has been designated at a low risk of winding up in the open ocean. Due to currents and coastlines, plastic debris from China tends not to travel far. It circles and stays contained within the shallower bays and coves. By comparison, plastic waste from Mexico is a very different story with a much bigger impact. If left unchecked and unrecycled, plastic waste from Mexico, especially northern coastal Mexico, poses a very high threat of making its way to the open ocean. From there, the plastic debris travels tens of thousands of miles across the Pacific Ocean, and as it drifts, it spreads microplastics from Mexico down to South America, then north up again through the Pacific Ocean, up the coast of the US, past Hawaii, and finally, joining that Great Pacific Garbage Patch, the GPGP. And here's where Mexico plastic can make a real difference. Little by little, planter by planter, here's what we're doing, and here's how you're helping us. At Trendspot Mexico, by using locally reclaimed and recycled plastic waste, we're helping to divert post-consumer plastic from this mission-critical region of northern coastal Mexico. So instead of adding to the problem of ocean trash, we give this plastic a much better future, a greener future as planters. Scrap by scrap, planter by planter, it adds up. How much? To date, Trendspot Mexico has diverted about 2 million pounds of post-consumer plastic trash. In terms of ocean plastic debris, The plastic that Trendspot Mexico has turned into planters would have been about 12,400 square miles of floating plastic ocean waste. That's bigger than the size of the city of Boston and San Francisco combined. So instead, we've turned that plastic into almost 750,000 planters, your planters and your customers' planters. Planters that are now homes for trees, flowers, fruits, and vegetable plants. Homes for gardens that contribute to oxygen production. Gardens that feed our families and create habitats for bees, birds, and butterflies. Homes for plants that make us happier and healthier. It turns out this is a bigger story than sustainable materials. This is really a story about creating sustenance. Together, we are planting the start of healthier lifestyles and a healthier planet. One scrap of plastic, one tiny seed at a time. Together, let's keep planting that better future. There is no such thing as waste, only wasted resources. And when we can create value from waste, well, it really isn't waste anymore.